And on the line with us is Margaret. Good morning, Margaret.
And my problem is I did some new landscaping this spring, and I put in a weeping cherry tree.
Okay.
And it looked fine for a couple of weeks. Now I'm looking at it, and it has holes in the leaves and looking a little sick way. And I really would like to bring that tree back. Just don't know how to do it.
Tell me, well, okay, the holes in the leaves could be any of a great number of insects. And it also could be, and we're going to hear a lot about this, we had a couple of late frosts right when many different trees, shrubs, and so on were leafing out. And even though they were just leafing out, and maybe the leaf was a whole 3/8 of an inch long, the freeze kills individual cells in the leaves upon occasion, and then when the leaf expands, the death of that cell opens up to a bigger area, and you see holes that haven't been chewed or diseased or anything else. They're just a function and a phenomenon of freezing temperature. Now, then, what can you tell me about what just doesn't look good?
Well, I noticed the holes in the leaves, and it looks as though the ends of the branches seem to be a little dried out, even though I've been giving it water, not overwatering once a week, a nice pailful. But that's how I've been treating this new tree.
Well, that is correct as far as that's concerned. Now, the only thing, even though it's new and young, etc., and you have mentioned that you haven't overwatered it, which I hope is indeed the case, if you know it to be a heavy, dense clay or a slightly low spot, and I mean only very slightly, it could be as little as a half an inch or an inch low, that means that spot in heavy clay can also hold water down in the ground. You wouldn't know it to be a wet spot. So let's just say do continue to water in that manner and even go a little farther apart. Now, you have to judge with, the open pored stick in the ground or your finger, whatever, to give you the best judgment. But the other possibility is just that it has put out more leaves than it can handle with new root, and it's just, well, we almost had enough warm days to burn a few leaves or cause them to regress a little bit. Tell me how much it looks wilted in any given afternoon, 4 o'clock-ish. Is it?
I would say that the small branches, if we can call it that, really don't look really wilted to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say then that it's possible on the nice days where the temperature has been anywhere near up toward normal. If it's looking okay at 4 in the afternoon, which is, the beginning of the hot spot, 4 to 7, depends on a lot of things, but that's when the sun burning down, the air has not settled into evening calm yet, and so on. And if it's looking okay then, and okay is not meant to be lush in this first year, I probably all is well. So I would simply continue to water, perhaps a little less frequently. That can be a problem that's, hidden is the best way to put it. I
do have heavy clay soil there, even though I did, put into it the more light around it, but it's reaching into the clay soil, I'm sure.
Well, and most of us have that situation in Ohio, at least in the western half of Ohio. I'm going to bet in that it's a brand new plant, and let's just say it's leafed out properly. It's probably just in a little bit of afternoon stress, and the holes could very well be just simply that of freezing. Wait a little bit back in time, and I'd say just bear with it. Sounds to me like it's going to be okay.
Would fertilization help at all? Or that's usually, that's the first thing most people think about.
That's right, Mark. And it is a consideration. However, it's pretty well been proven that the new roots, cut, disturbed, or both, are not going to pick up a lot of fertilizer initially. I have always favored putting fertilizer, dry granular fertilizer, in with the soil mix at the time, because I know at least that it's been put there one time. Some plants go for the next 40 years without a shot of fertilizer. But then on annuals, for example, I frequently, almost always, mix up a water-soluble solution of fertilizer and water the plants in with the theory and I hope the fact of getting nutrient into the root zone immediately, so that when the root is capable of picking it up, it is there. So yes, with fertilization, but at the same time, don't go excessively. In a case like Margaret has, if you do a knee-jerk and add too much fertilizer, you can indeed cause the solution and dilution of the solution. You can cause it to go backwards and draw the water right out of a root system. So yes, on fertilizer, as far as I'm concerned, but at the same time, be gentle.